In the following slides, I'll try to address some of the common grammatical and spelling errors that occur in blogs, and these are examples taken from blog number 1. Many of these errors can be avoided by using spellcheck.com before you post your blog. So try to use spellcheck.com before posting your next blog. So what's the problem with this sentence? Encanto los animales. Well, the problem is here with encanto. Encantar is a verb like gustar. So if you want to say that you love animals, well, if you want to say you like animals, then you say me gustan los animales. If you want to say you love animals, then you say me encantan. Me encantan los animales. Encantar is a gustar type verb, and there's a section in your blue pages you can look at to review gustar type verbs. So what's wrong with this? Well, the problem is there's no verb in this sentence. You don't have a single verb. I think the problem is with how to say to volunteer as a verb. You can't say this in Spanish. You only have the noun el voluntario, la voluntaria. So the way around this is to consider voluntario a profession. So you would say mis padres, right? Mis padres son voluntarios. Just like you would say mis padres son maestros, mis padres son médicos, mis padres son ingenieros, mis padres son voluntarios todo el tiempo. So here we have another issue with gustar. You cannot say yo gusto, tú gustas, etc. So our issue is here with gustar. And we're talking about, I think in this case, a group of people who like speaking English with us. So, a ellos les gustó hablar inglés con nosotros. Why gustó and not gustaron? Because the subject is hablar inglés. This is one activity, so the verb is singular. Hablar inglés les gustó. And why a ellos? Because ellos is an indirect object here. It's co-referent with les. Again, there's a section in the blue pages in your textbook which you can review, the section on gustar type verbs. By now you've probably figured out that this is an issue with gustar. So think about this sentence. What is the thing that's pleasing? What is the thing that's causing pleasure to us? So that's the subject, los animales. So this is going to be the subject of this verb, right? So gustan, los animales gustan. Los animales gustan a nosotros. A nosotros nos gustan los animales. So this is not a problem with a gustar type verb, but this is a problem with agreement, with gender agreement, in fact. So in Spanish, all words that end in sion, all nouns that end in sion are feminine. All words that end in dad are also feminine. So we need to make muchos into muchas, and we need to make este into esta, so that there's gender agreement, feminine with feminine, feminine with feminine. This type of error is the type of error that SpanishCheck.com is very good at picking up. So please consider using SpanishCheck.com for your next before your next blog. Well, it looks like I forgot to put anything on this slide, so I'll just write down the web address of SpanishCheck.com. And let me say that this is a good checker. It's free, and it's not perfect, so it won't catch every error, and maybe at times it'll confuse you about what it's asking you to do. But overall, it's a pretty good tool to use for checking your writing. Once again, we have a problem with a gustar type verb. This one's pretty easy. All we have to do is make gustar plural because we have los animales. And again, los animales are the subject, so the verb should be gustan. Me gustan los animales. There's no error here, but an error that we see very often in words that end in consonants like L, say animal, is that students just add S for the plural, animals. Animals does not exist. To form the plural of a word ending in a consonant like animal, you add es, animales. So there's many words like that. For example, luz, la luz, las luces. This sentence has one error, and the problem is with the verb. The verb is hablar, and the writer wants to say, in the event I spoke with various members of the organization. This is the past participle. This is like spoken. So in English you wouldn't say, oh, in the event I spoken with various members. No, you want to say I spoke. So preterite, hablé. En el evento, hablé con varios miembros. In this case, it's not really necessary to say yo hablé. It's almost too emphatic. So the best solution would be, en el evento, hablé con varios miembros. This sentence has a very small error, but in Spanish, when you express your profession, you don't use any article. So it should just be, quiero ser empresaria algún día. If you want to say that you're a lawyer, you say soy abogado or soy abogada. You don't say soy una abogada, soy un abogado. There's no article. Soy abogado, soy profesor, soy maestro, etc. This sentence is missing a word. It's missing a connector. So there's a connector that should go in here. The connector that, right, which in Spanish is que. So, una organización que me encanta es lo que sea. This sentence is also missing the connector que. So where would you put the connector que in this case? Right here. Soy voluntaria para una organización que se llama whatever. There's a spelling error here. Ñ is a letter in Spanish. The tilde is not decorative. In fact, los niños means nothing, and los niños means children. So be careful with that. There are issues when it comes to not using the tilde. For example, many students write, they think that they're writing years and they put años. Well, años means something that we really don't talk about in Spanish class, so be careful to put always años. The issue here is with the noun work. Work as a noun, the work, in Spanish is el trabajo. El trabajo. La trabaja is not a word. It doesn't exist. This sentence has two errors. One is an agreement error, and one is a missing que. So where's the agreement error? Remember I said that all words in Spanish that end in dad, all nouns that end in dad are feminine. So las actividades. And then the connector que goes in here. Las actividades que hacemos para los niños son, and notice that niños has a tilde. So how do you say I agree with somebody? To be in agreement with somebody, the expression is estar de acuerdo. This is just an idiomatic expression meaning to be in agreement with somebody. So this should be yo estoy de acuerdo con el profesor. Yo estoy de acuerdo con Jeff. Estoy de acuerdo con Susan. Entonces, try to think of these things when you're writing your next blog.